3 years ago, I paid $3,000 for a mentor. In today's video, I'm gonna go over my experience, what I got for $3K, if it was worth it, and if you should pay thousands of dollars for someone's help. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because last week I got 2 DMs from 2 different people saying they lost thousands because they paid someone that guaranteed them a result, and then when they didn't get that result, they obviously didn't get their money back, which sucks. So the question is, should you trust these people and should you pay thousands for learning? Well, as for someone who did pay quite a lot of money for a mentorship, I think I have a kind of a unique stance on this because just 3 years ago, I was just like these 2 people that messaged people for help. I was stuck in my life. I wasn't sure what to do, but the thing I did know was I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 and just retire at 65 like everyone else. To me, that wasn't life. It was more like a prison sentence. You work for 45 years, work for 8 hours a day, and then you have freedom. I said, nah, that ain't for me, chief. So I did what a lot of you are doing right now, which is searching for different ways to make money online. And I'm not kidding when I said I probably tried over 7 different side hustles, like drop shipping, Amazon FBA, I did sports gambling, I did crypto, I did blogging, like there was just so many. But I can never make enough money from them to actually afford a living. So after a couple months, I kept just starting back at zero and I was just sick of it. Now in the meantime, while I'm stuck at zero over and over again, I keep seeing these kids, 16 or 17-year-olds making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm like, why can't I do that? Why can't I make that much money? And at this point, I was really at rock bottom and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I just remember that one day I was thinking about it and I was thinking, why do I keep failing at all these different models? And the one factor came up again. It was the fact that I never stuck with one for more than 4 months. I wanted to make money so fast where if I didn't make 10K in like 3 months, I just thought the business model was too hard and I switched over to one that was assumed to be easier. After having this realization, I made a commitment. I said the next business model I start, I'm gonna stick with it for 6 months and see what happens. But the question was, what was gonna be that next business model that I start? And I remember vividly that I was on YouTube watching a ton of different videos on different business models, and then this YouTube ad came up about this business model that I'd never heard of before, and to basically click on a link to watch a webinar to learn more about it. So I thought it couldn't hurt to watch this, free webinar and see exactly what this business model was. So I watched this webinar, which is about 40 minutes long, and I remember thinking that everything the guy said made sense. Like he did a very good job to show how I can go from 0 to 5K to even 10K in only 3 months time and why this business model is needed now. And to let you in on the business model, it was SMMA, which was creating an agency and selling services to businesses that needed it. Anyway, the guy sold me on the business model and I booked a call with his sales team. A day later, I jumped on a call with someone from his sales team and he did his whole spiel about why now is the perfect time to start his business model, why businesses need me and how much money I can make. So I go through the sales call and he tells me exactly what I'm going to get, which is a course on how to create an agency and access to a private community for other people that also create an agency too. And I said, I thought it was great until he said the price, and the price for all this was $3,000. And at that moment, my breath gets taken away because I did not think this thing was gonna be $3,000, maybe $1,000 max. And now I'm thinking, am I really about to drop $3,000 on basically just a course? There were 1,000 thoughts spinning at my head at the time, but my decision basically came down to one thought. And it was, if I'm gonna spend $3,000 on a course, I'm gonna do everything I can to make that $3,000 back. There's no way I'm spending $3K and making no money. And at that moment I was desperate. I tried a bunch of different business models that didn't work. I obviously needed help. So I said, screw it, gave the guy my credit card details, and in 5 minutes, $3,000 was out of my bank account just like that. And the one thing I just kept thinking was, I'm gonna make this $3,000 back even if it kills me. And that's how I found my mentor. The right YouTube ad popped up at the right time. But now let's get into what $3,000 actually got me and if I indeed make that money back. So $3,000 comes out of my bank account and I'm given a link to an access to a course in a community. And I'm super excited, I'm ready to make some bread and super motivated. I spent through the course in 2 weeks and the course is all about how to create an agency, how to do client outreach, how to sign clients for $2,000 a month packages, and how to actually fulfill the work for the clients. And in my opinion, the course is actually pretty good. It taught me copywriting and sales, which are 2 very high income skills in today's world, and also taught me how to find leads, how to contact them, and everything I really need to know to start and scale an agency. So after those 2 weeks, I started to create my agency and start doing outreach. And I remember in just 1 week, I had my first call booked, which is a celebratory moment for anyone who first starts an agency. And I had my first client signed within 3 weeks. And after I signed that first client, the belief in myself, 100x. And I really thought, this is the business model that's gonna make me 10 to even 20K per month. But then a month goes by and I still haven't signed another client. And another month goes by and I'm able to sign 1 client, which is great. But then another goes by and I don't sign any. So here I am, 4 months in, I've only signed 2 clients and I still didn't make back the 3K that I told myself I was going to. And after being in the business model for a bit, I started to see some cracks in it. And when thinking about the model that the guy was teaching me, I just didn't see a way that I could scale it past 10K per month consistently. So after 6 months of trying to scale this agency that this guy told me to do, I, quit the mentorship. I left the community because I just stopped believing in it anymore. And did I make that 3K back? I believe I did, but with expenses, I'm pretty sure I still lost money. But the main question that needs to be answered is, was the mentorship worth $3,000? Well, let me tell you what happened to me after I left the mentorship, and you could decide for yourself. After I left, I was again wondering like what to do next, like what was gonna be my next, hustle. And this was until I saw that there was demand for a service in a particular niche that wasn't being covered by a whole bunch of agencies yet. So with what I learned in the mentorship, I jumped straight in, created a new agency selling a service different from the one I was being told in the mentorship, and I started outreaching to clients just in that first week. And from the skills and methods that I learned in the mentorship, I was able to close more clients in that first month than I did with the other agency in the first 6 months. And that's kind of where I am today. I'm still creating new agencies using the same methods that I was taught in the mentorship, years back. So was that $3,000 mentorship worth it? Absolutely. And here's why. Even though I agree that $3,000 is a ridiculous amount of money to pay basically for just a course, and that I didn't even make the money back from the mentorship, that mentorship did teach me a lot of high value skills that were well worth over $3,000. In that mentorship, I learned how to create a business from scratch in less than a week. I learned marketing. I learned 2 high income skills, which was sales and copywriting, and I learned how to find where there is demand in a market. If I never learned all these skills, I would have never actually created that new agency that did make over 10 grand per month. So through my experience, I do believe paying for a mentor is worth it, just like Tony Robbins said. If you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. But be aware of who you're getting a mentorship from. Like I said in the beginning, the reason I'm making this video is because I had 2 people DM me last week saying they lost thousands. One person told me that this person guaranteed them 7 clients, and if they didn't get them those 7 clients, they would refund them the entire amount. Now the mentorship was for $10K. Now the guy sent me the contract for me to look over, and in the contract it doesn't even say that they'll get a refund if they don't get the 7 clients. So that's basically $10K just down the drain. The guy guaranteed him 30 book calls in a month. He only got him 3. It cost $1,000, and that's just another $1,000 down the drain. So if you do want to go down the mentorship route, because there are a lot of great mentors giving really good value, then this is what you should look out for. First, I wouldn't trust anyone that offers a guarantee or your money back. The online business world is very volatile, and at any time or moment, the markets could shift and change your entire business. So if someone is guaranteeing clients, it's most likely for marketing purposes, and they can't actually guarantee you those clients. For example, I'll be upfront and say that I do mentorships for people who want to start and scale their agency, but I don't guarantee that I can get you any clients. And the reason I don't guarantee you any clients because I know how hard it is to sign a client, nevertheless 7. What I do promise is that if you take my advice and do everything I say, your chances of signing a client will be much greater than if you were to go at it alone. You're bound to fuck up and make a lot of mistakes, but lucky for you, I already made all these mistakes so I can help you minimize them so you can find success in a shorter time. So again, if someone is guaranteeing you a result, just be aware and do your due diligence. This is what I actually recommend you to do if you're looking for a mentor. Check out their YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok and see if they're putting out really good value out there. Are they good teachers? Are they giving actionable advice? Whenever they drop a video, are you going to it immediately because you know the sauce in it is going to be incredible? If there's someone out there that checks all those boxes, then I would recommend getting a mentorship from them. Because number 1, they've already established a level of trust because you've watched them a lot. And number 2, if you like how they explain certain stuff in their teaching style, that's great because that's usually going to be the exact same teaching style they do for a mentorship or course. So first watch the videos, see if they're putting out good value. Then if you've seen some success with what they've giving out for free, then consider doing a mentorship from them. And if you're someone who has watched a lot of my videos, like my teaching style and like the value that I put out and want a mentorship from me personally, then I'll put a link below for you to apply. All right guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more building agency related knowledge and I'll see you in the next one.